Right, it's Tuesday night. I'm so used to saying Wednesday night. It's podcast night. We've got a great guest, and this has been sort of in the makings for a while. Right. Yeah. Sherrie Bruce is here. Hello. Hello. We're so happy you're here. Gil is with us in the lobby. Gil, of course, has been on before. And then when he said that you wanted to do James Taylor. Absolutely. We've been reserving this because that was about a year ago when he told me. Does that sound about right? That sounds right. And so we've been reserving James Taylor for you, and we finally got through the schedule, and I said, let's call Sherrie. Let's call Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited to be here. Well, we're glad you're here, but my question is, why James Taylor? Well, James Taylor is kind of a family band or a family. The Grishams love James Taylor. Okay. I've seen James Taylor in several different states, and mostly with Glenn, my brother. Yep. And Glenn loves to go to a good time. Absolutely, and with Gil. Yep. And so started with James Taylor in the early 70s and have always enjoyed his music, especially I think he's such a lyricist. He's good. He can write a song. He tells a good story. He tells a good story. His stuff is from the heart. Absolutely. And his music is softer, so you feel it a little bit more. And now John Bruce likes James Taylor. Absolutely. Yeah. John Bruce. So JB is a big JT fan. He is a big JT fan. Yeah. He comes in with the family. He, as a matter of fact, I was telling him that I was coming the other day, and he said, I can remember that when I would take a shower and I would play music, because we always play music while we take showers. He said I would hit the play, and every time it would be James Taylor. Because he was following up on what. So every time I took a shower, I would listen to James Taylor. So yeah. It's funny how you get attracted to a certain artist or a band. You know, it could be growing up, it could be an experience of your family. That's a great story. Absolutely. So, cool. So we're gonna get into James Taylor.
I think a lot of families have an artist that are
They do.
For my family, it was the Eagles.
Yeah, for mine, it was Ray Charles. So I listened to a lot of Ray Charles growing up. You listened to a lot of Eagles. Wilkie, what'd you listen to growing up? Jerry Reed. No, it wasn't Jerry Reed.
Well, it's a lot of country, but yeah. So there's a lot of Eagles too. I'm a person.
The Grishams were James Taylor. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic, and we'll get into some stories, and we'll talk more about James Taylor. Before we do, let's thank our sponsors, Spices Smokehouse Crackers. We just did a couple Percy did a couple new ads for you guys. They look really cool. So we love them, and if you see their product, buy it. You will buy it again. Let's thank Brindley's Family Pharmacy. Local pharmacies for where it's at. You get more care. They actually give a rip about you. So we use Brindley's, and we would encourage you to do that as well. And last but not least, Busted Oak Bourbon Society, where Percy and I are usually in the trenches up there on Saturdays from 11 to 4. Got to go to a grandchildren's Easter egg hunt this Saturday. So, Percy, I guess, will be you and Dakota. But he gets a little grin on his face because he knows that's more money for him.
If he makes it back from
If he makes it back from Las Vegas.
You don't have no faith in me.
He wants to person.
Yeah, we will be watching. He leaves tomorrow morning. He comes back Friday. He's going to see the Denton Company at the Sphere, and there are many of us very excited for him because we know how excited he is. But we're also concerned that he will join the commune and we will never see him again. So be prepared if we start putting out Where's Waldo stuff on social media because we're going to have to try to track him down. He's never been to Vegas. He's never been to the Sphere. And he's going by himself, but he's a grown ass man. So everything should be okay. We just hope he comes back.
Thank our great listener and friend, Mr. Bright Long, who has taken me to the airport.
Taking you to the airport and picking you up, and that's because he's reciprocating because you drove us to the Ringo Starr concert. So that's where all that's coming from. Okay, we got all that out of the way. Or good luck. Send a lot of pictures, okay? And next week, I'll go ahead and say it when you come back. We're going to do the Dead and Company with Matt Colvin, and we're all starting to listen to a lot of the Dead and Company, and it's good. It's been a lot of fun. So get ready. But tonight is James Taylor with Sherrie Bruce, and this is going to be fun. I love JT, so I get to tell my JT story as we go through this. And
I feel like we're talking about golf because everybody when they're talking about Justin Thomas, everybody always
says JT.
JT.
Yeah, James Taylor. There's only one JT in my book, and it's James Taylor. Justin Thomas, he lost or he won, so we ain't talking about you. All right. With that being said, agree. Honorable mentions out of the way.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. No. Sponsors out of the way. I don't mean that lightly. We love the sponsors. Yeah. So let's get into honorable mentions now. Percy, what's yours?
We talk about JT being and he was a great songwriter, but he did a lot of covers. Mm-hmm. But he had a sense of putting kind of I don't know how to put this, maybe his own way of putting a folk popsy, sometimes even country spin on songs that he had done. And the first one that I'm going with, he did a cover of the Drifters, Up on the Roof,
and it was great.
And he did a great. It was different from the Drifters, and that's one of those songs where you can say, "Hey, I like the Drifters version, and I like his too."
Yeah, because there was a differential between both of them.
Yes, they're just both good. You can say that.
Absolutely.
And my next one is, and I don't think this person gets enough credit for the influence that he had over artists. Everybody wants to talk about the Beatles and the Stones, but Buddy Holly will never get the credit that he deserves for being an influence. And JT's version of Every Day, it's just, and so many bands have covered Buddy Holly, and people just don't.
That's a really good song.
It is a very good song.
I mean,
and JT liked Buddy Holly.
I mean, the Dead.
Here we go.
They're one of their.
Here it is.
The most popular songs is Not Fade Away.
Yeah.
And there's tons of other people that covered. Linda covered.
Yep.
Ronstadt covered Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt could sing a.
Yes, absolutely.
Huge voice. All right.
And my last honorable mention is a song that was more popular for a person that covered it after him. But I like JT's version of it. And it's Bartender Blues.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Made really famous by...
And I hadn't heard that one in a bit. Have you, Sherrie?
No, I haven't.
Made really famous by the Possum. George Jones. And most people don't realize this, and you have to listen really hard, that on JT's version, Bartender's Blues, Linda Ronstadt is singing background on it.
Oh, wow. That's funny, because we can talk about Linda, so cool stuff. That's your honorable mention?
That's my honorable mention.
Sherrie?
Okay.
You got yours ready?
Yeah. My first honorable mention is Mill Worker. Okay. And that is actually a song that he wrote for a Broadway show. And the play was not successful, but the song remains, and he sings it. He sings it in his concerts. And again, going back to, he's such a lyricist, and the Mill Worker song is about a girl who just has to take care of herself and her children in her life, and all she's ever going to do is be a mill worker. Work in the mill. And there's a line in there that says, I may work the mills as long as I am able, and never meet the man whose name is on the label.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my daddy ran mills. Yeah, he ran Kendall here forever. Yeah. He was here. So been traveling around my whole life as a boy, going to different cities where my daddy ran the mills. And, of course, we're from North Carolina. It's the mill capital of the world, and I'll get back to that later, but that's a touching song.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good song, and he was really excited to write a Broadway musical song, but like I said, the play didn't do so well, but the song was yeah.
So mission accomplished.
Yeah.
All right, what else you
got? My second one is Shed a Little Light.
Okay.
And that is a song about, he wrote really in honor of his mother, because his mother was very much a civil rights activist, women's rights activist, and that's what the song is about. It talks about Martin Luther King and He really, when he talks about this song in concerts, he always brings up his mother, and that his mother inspired him to always, give back and give back, and that's what Shed a Little Light is about.
He is a sweet soul.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he really is. You can tell.
yeah.
All right, what's your last honorable mention?
My last honorable mention is Her Town. Her Town.
It's a great song.
Great, great melody.
Did he do that with
He has probably done it with a couple of people.
I think he did it with JD once.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did once. I don't know if it was live, but that's
one of the reasons why I like that song is there's a lyric in it that says, because it's about him divorcing and not being married, and he has a line in there that says, "She gets the house and the garden, and I get the boys in the band."
Yeah.
And that's a great.
Now I wonder if he was right about Carly Simon.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably, because of course most of us know JT knew that he was married to Carly.
Absolutely,
yeah. They did Mockingbird together. I hope I didn't steal anybody's business, but I don't know. Maybe I did for Lloyd and. Those your problems. It's tough for you, wasn't it?
It was.
I mean, we tell people, so we do this every week, and there are some artists where we can just rip through it.
Right.
And there's some, it's painstaking.
Well, it's
to
hard
narrow it down to
narrow
5. And when you got here, you said, I have 5 honorable mentions.
Yeah,
It's so hard. You got it down to 3.
Yeah.
But it's tough taking one of your favorite artists and picking 5 songs. And chances are, if we did this podcast again in 3 months, you'd have some different songs on that list.
Would.
Yeah, that's how it works. So that's where Percy will put the playlist together. And so we'll have this massive, awesome James Taylor playlist that he'll put on Apple Music. And now at your family gatherings, you just go to Apple Music and play this.
Yeah.
And you had a part in building it. So
that's great.
That's going to be super. Right. Honorable mentions. The first one is it's a beautiful song. I've always loved it. But attached to James Taylor because I got to meet him. I've always loved him. So there's a picture in the hall of me and James Taylor where I got to meet him on the Today Show, and was there when my daughter was marching in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with the band. So great opportunities for those kids. But it was me and my kid, and the band had activities all day long. So I'm let loose by myself on New York City.
That's not good.
Yeah, but I had a great time. But I went to the Day Show because I knew JT was going to be there. I bought the CD. I got in line. And when it was my turn, I said, JT, I was born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which he moved to Chapel Hill in 1951. And he put his arm around me and said, us Carolina boys need to stick together.
Oh, that's great.
And signed it in the face up there, and it's in that little box frame. But my first impression was I was blown away. You listen to his music, and it's very sweet, and it's sincere. And that's what I got out of it when I met him. I met his brother, too. Of course, when I told him to make it out to face, his brother chuckled, and JT said, why face? I said, just do it.
Yeah.
So they did. It was cool. So,
and that's so cool because sometimes when you meet people,
you're disappointed.
Right.
Yeah, you're totally disappointed. You won't be disappointed with him. He's solid guy.
He's real soft spoken, I would imagine.
He was just very chill, and he's tall.
Tall.
Gosh, you can see in the picture. He's got 4 or 5 inches on me, but I don't think I'm short. It ain't like that, Wilkie. But there he goes again. It's about looking in your face.
I'll bring you the picture.
So anyway. My first honorable mention is we catch him in this all the time, Sherrie. Sorry. Shower the People. Sweet song. I loved it. My next one's sort of upbeat, and it will put a smile on your face, and it's your smiling face.
Yeah.
So, and I got into JT when I lived in Athens, Georgia, and I think that was like 73 through 77, and JT was sort of on fire back in the mid 70s. I got a lot of doses of James Taylor back then. My last honorable mention is Mexico. Just well done song all the way around. I just love it. So Honorable mentions are out of the way. Y'all ready for top fives? Wilkie, we miss anything on honorables?
Nah, y'all good.
All good so far. All right, Percy, what's your number five?
Number 5 for me is probably a harder edge song for JT.
You know where you going?
And it's his cover version of Chuck Berry's Promised Land.
No, that's not where I think about you were going.
He does a very good job. It's a great Chuck Berry song to start with.
It is.
Mhm.
And I could say somebody else covered it, but y'all just make fun of me. But
I dare you to say it.
okay, Red Ghost.
We just sit there agreeing.
JT's version is different.
It is. I had no mind.
It's a great version and it's different. And that's a lot of people say, well, I don't like covers, and they just close their ears when somebody. But Waylon said everybody should have a chance to do music their own way.
Yeah, I agree.
And just if you like somebody, take a song and do it your own way.
Yeah, and JT definitely
he did that with a lot of songs. And,
He did.
And they were great, and he made them radio friendly.
He did. He did.
Which says a lot.
Mm-hmm. He did. Truly. All right, your number five, Sherry.
My number 5 is You Can Close Your Eyes.
That's a great song.
It's a great song.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I told Gil that if something ever happens to me and I go to the great beyond, I want you to play this song
That's it?
at my celebration.
That's your celebration of life
You
song?
can close your eyes. Yeah. You can close your eyes. It's all right.
Well, you look great, and I don't think you're going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, but you gotta
You got to plan. You got to plan it. My celebration of life song is from Flogging Molly, and it's If I Ever Leave This World Alive. So,
Yeah.
whatever. We all got
It's
it.
kind of like Hank Williams Sr. said, "You'll never get out of this world alive."
That's right.
Yep.
There you go.
That's true. All right, good choice. My number five, y'all going to scoff at me that I just got this five. Scoff?
I hadn't scoffed in a while.
You scoff all the time. You're a scoffer. I'm going with Fire and Rain.
Yeah.
So, and Percy and I were talking about this. James Taylor was, I think her brothers and sisters, they were put in a mental asylum for a while.
Yes, they were put in a psychiatric hospital.
Yes, they were. Their family was sort of, off their rockers, if you will. And the story is that when James got out of that psychiatric ward, he penned Fire and Rain. I don't know. And he had a terrible heroin product.
He did.
For a while.
And that's crazy.
It's like ended up that attributed to him being in the psych ward because I think they were all doing heroin at one point, and they had to clean up, and he did. When he came out, he went through hell, and he wrote Fire and Rain when he got.
And if you watch Oprah used to have and I almost hate to mention that word, but she used to have a show she called Masterclass or something, and JT was on that.
Yeah, okay.
And he talks about he talks about his addiction, and he's like, if you ever find something that you love so much that you can't live without, he said you better run.
Yeah, you better run.
He said run the other way.
It pretty much cost him his first marriage for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he talks about that in his book, and he talks about how his daddy drove up and got him.
He did. He called him.
He loves his daddy too.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He called his daddy in New York, and his dad said, "How are you doing, son?" And he said, "I'm not good." And he said, "Do not leave that apartment. Stay there, and I will come get you."
I'm on the way.
His dad was 12 hours later. His dad was there. I didn't leave the apartment, but he knew something was wrong.
Yeah. And his dad he's alive. When I met him, and that was, you pointed it out, I thought it was like 2003 or 4, and he said, "No, it says here 2007." His dad was still in North Carolina at that time.
Yeah.
He said, "My dad's still back in North Carolina." So
Right.
anyway.
But and that's where he writes the lyric "Flying Machines and Pieces on the Guitar."
That's right. Flying Machines.
Because that was his first band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. If you want to really learn some cool stuff about James Taylor, just Wikipedia. This is just a great story. Gosh, it's fantastic.
And what's the Storytellers from VH1? There's a lot of people and I use Donald Fagen as a reference.
Yeah.
It was the worst excuse
For
a storytelling.
Yeah.
Great artist, but bad at storytelling. And JT is really good because it's like almost when he's talking to that crowd, it's like he's talking to you.
Yeah.
You can almost kind of get that when he's telling the story about the songs that he wrote.
Yeah.
I'm sure you felt that way when you met him.
I did.
He was looking at you.
He was genuine.
Yeah.
He made me feel so good.
As long as he wasn't genuine.
No, he was genuine.
Okay.
Yeah. Genuine came later that day.
He did a lot later.
Yeah. All right. So that was my number 5. We're at 4 now.
No, that was Percy's 5.
That's my 5.
Okay. That was your 5. I thought I just gave Fire and Rain.
You did.
Okay. That was my 5.
It's bad when I'm getting confused.
Yeah, that's his 4.
Yeah, you're at 4 now. See, Sherry, we don't edit this, and we screw up every week. So it's Percy's number 4.
I had my number.
She's wrong.
She's wrong.
And I'm tidbit here I want to mention. Most people don't know, but do you know who's the first artist signed to Apple Records was?
I always thought it was the Beatles.
It was James Taylor.
Okay. Well, that was the Beatles.
That was the
their
Beatles
cut. That was their
record label. But
their label.
JT was the first one signed to Apple.
I didn't know that.
And he
Tell us
tells
about that in storytelling.
He tells his story about how they used to be in studio at certain times of the Beatles.
How neat.
And there's kind of like tongue in cheek about all the drugging that was going on and stuff that he don't remember. And
all right, good number. All right, Sherry.
Okay, we're at 4.
We're at 4.
Okay, Sweet Baby James.
I love that song.
Yes, and he actually considers that his very best song that he's ever written. He was really proud of it, and he wrote it as kind of a lullaby for his brother Alex's brother.
Yeah.
His son. I'm sorry.
Alex's son.
Brother Alex's son. And he said that he was thinking about it, and he said, I kind of wanted it to be a cowboy and a buckaroo.
Yeah, they were thinking it was going to be a lullaby at first.
Right.
It's like, no, we're going to do this cowboy buckaroo thing.
Yeah.
He totally did it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's a great song. Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yes.
It may reveal itself again.
Okay.
As we get through this. All right, my number 4, and I think about my wife, Something in the Way She Moves.
Oh,
Such a love song.
Yeah.
So, and the way Amanda's got a great gait, great stride.
I feel fine anytime she's around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time she comes home, I feel better.
Yep. Absolutely. It's a good song.
Yeah. All right. Nitty gritty time, top 3s. Percy, what's your number 3?
my number 3 is his most successful remake, and it's the Marvin Gaye cover of How Sweet It Is.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I think his version of How Sweet It Is better than Marvin Gaye's. Dude, I've always thought that.
Yeah.
I think he nailed that one.
That's a good song.
Yeah. It's good number 3. We're just going a little bit deep.
Yeah, he made it.
Going deep. I'm like skimming through greatest hits here.
I think James Taylor made it like if you didn't know Marvin Gaye did it, you'd think it was a James Taylor song.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Them all.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, Johnny Cash takes your song, he makes it his own. Same with James Taylor,
Absolutely,
I think,
yeah.
to a lot of degree. If he takes yours, he makes it his own. Percy mentioned it several times. So anyway, great number 3.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if this has been done before or if this is allowed, but my number 3 is a whole album, a whole CD.
Just do it.
Okay. It is.
You brought the CD.
It is October Road, James Taylor.
I know it. It's a great album.
Every song on this CD.
We're going to make an exception because it's you.
Okay.
And we're going to put every song of October Road on the playlist, and on your selections, we're just saying October Road album.
Absolutely. This is one of the best. If you only buy one, you need to buy this one.
It's really good.
It's a really good album. It's got all kind of different stuff.
You're the first person to ever come in here, and we will have probably 155 episodes come June. You're the first person that ever came in here with CD or album or anything and said, put this whole thing on.
That's one of my top fives.
I love it. What do you mean?
Actually, to pick some songs, and then it would have probably ended up.
So, this album is a whole body of work from start to finish. It is a complete body of work.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
I mean, what I put on my notes is every song is good.
All right, we're allowing it. Percy's good with it. Yeah. Number 3. I have no significance of why I picked this song except when I was living in Georgia and it came out. You know, I'm in middle school then, and everyone just loved it. I did like a walkathon for MS, and people had their transistor radios back then, and this came on, and I just fell in love with it. And it's Handyman.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I am the world's
You're the furthest thing from a handyman.
Or two, and he's talking about fixing broken hearts.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. I can't do that either.
We're a lot alike when it comes
to a tool in my hand is a weapon.
We're pitiful.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my younger brother's for. He does all that stuff. He can't fix hearts either, but I can't either. But I would try. That song is great.
I think that Handyman is one of his best vocals.
I do too.
I think it's really good vocals on him, and it suits him well.
There's a nice ride in there where he gets into, you know, a verse of like, come.
Yes.
And it's just sort of sail a little bit.
A local business has a commercial on the radio that says we can fix everything but broken hearts.
I hear that commercial 4 or 5 times a day. We can fix everything. Hearts. Well, I'm going to call this guy and say, you need James Taylor.
That's right.
All right, we're narrowing down to number 2. Percy, what do you got?
Number 2 is, I mean, if somebody can sing this song from their self and truthfully, and it's You've Got a Friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And if anybody's got one like that, I mean, you're blessed to have one, but if you've got more than one, then you're doing.
And you know, him and Carole King had such great collaborations together, and she performed a lot of his songs. And they're just, I think, and they recorded together. They've got a great duet album.
My brother Glenn saw them together.
Glenn sees everybody.
Rock star.
We need Glenn on this show.
He said it was just unbelievable. Just like, you know, her on the piano, him on the guitar.
I mean, they are the yin and yang. I mean, she is the female James Taylor, and he is the male Carole King in so many ways. Yes. They just, you know, they jive. Yeah. They really do. So I just had to make sure I got that in here tonight somehow, because I always felt like that was a very special bond between James Taylor and Carole King.
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. Now I've lost where we are. You're number 2, Sherrie.
This has been brought up already with a podcast, but James Taylor and Carly Simon, Mockingbird Live.
Yeah.
And it's on
live.
It's live. Right. It's on YouTube. Okay. It's actually got, because I checked before I came, it's actually got 7.5 million views on YouTube. Oh boy. So y'all need to go and look at it. It's really good. It's just, you know, them dancing and singing and having a great time, and they're young and, you know, in love, and it's great tune.
Fantastic.
Yes, a great. Y'all need to go and look it up.
Yeah, definitely. We may not be able to get that on the playlist because it's just YouTube, but we'll put the studio, or if we can find a live version of it, or she'll try to do that. He's great at this stuff. All right. My number 2 is just because JT and me, I was born in Chapel Hill, and he wound up moving there in 1959. My daddy is a Tar Heel. I'm a Tar Heel, so I'm going with Carolina in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where my heart always lies. Great song, and that's the one that tugs at my heartstrings. Right. I think about, I've got still a ton of family up in that area, and I think a lot of them are going to listen to this show tonight because they know we're doing James Taylor.
Right.
So,
yeah. Say nice things about me because I'm going to Carolina.
That's right. I'm going to Carolina. Yeah. So.
And you know, that song was mostly written in 1968. in London while he was spending time with the Beatles in the studio.
Didn't know
He was extremely homesick. And so the greatest part of that song was written in London.
That's fantastic.
In '68.
We'll leave it to Percy to come up with those little digs there, those little fun. It's good stuff. Makes me love it even more. All right. Where are we at? Number ones?
Number one.
Shoot. Time flies when you're having fun. What's number one for you?
This is a basic one, but I mean, it's just a great song, and it's Fire and Rain. And I don't know how you can.
You can. It's got to be somebody's.
It's mine.
Yeah, great song. Greatest, possibly one of the greatest. If you had to write down a top 50 greatest songs of all time in the rock genre, Fire and Rain's going to make that list.
Oh, absolutely. And 3 chords in, you know it.
Yes, you do.
Well, who had?
I mean, you're like, that's Fire and Rain.
You had that feeling that I always thought that I'd see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And especially what we've gone through.
Oh boy.
The past few weeks.
Oh yeah. Yes. So anyway, great choice for number one. It is truly, quite possibly, his greatest song.
Yeah, I think so. I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Can't wait to hear your number one, Sherrie.
Okay, well, it's already been said, but I'm still sticking with it. It's Up on the Roof. And one of the reasons I looked it up, and like you said, you can look up anything on the internet. And he said that he wrote this song, and it's about finding peace in the chaos. Yeah. And that kind of resonated with me because sometimes you just got to take a deep breath and
Because I mean, we all live our life.
Absolutely. Yes.
We all have things we have to deal with in our life, and you and Bill are actually saints walking the earth in so many ways. I love you guys. And, that's good.
And
find a little peace and solace.
Absolutely. Yeah, he said that's what this song is about. And another reason why I chose Up on the Roof is because my brother Glenn really is the one who introduced me to James Taylor.
Good for you,
and Up on the Roof is Glenn's favorite song. And when we go to concerts together, and it's just like when he starts playing Up on the Roof, we look at each other.
When y'all are on the catamaran doing all these, boating adventures. JT playing?
JT's definitely playing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. Percy and I want to ride on that thing one day.
Yeah, come on.
Glenn's already asked me before. It's been years ago.
Well, now he owns his own boat, so you can, you have more access to it now than.
There we go. Glenn, I'm coming for the boat. Yes. We're going to Key Largo, wherever y'all go. Y'all been all over the place.
Easy there, Bertie Higgins.
Yeah, I'm actually a BVI.
Okay, yeah.
But Glenn's been everywhere.
Yeah, that's a cool guy. Can't wait to see him again. All right, it's my number one?
Yes.
Well, I'm going with Sweet Baby James. I always thought about my dad because he is James. And so that was always the connection. And, my dad's from North Carolina. We're all from North Carolina, and then JT sings a song called Sweet Baby James. If that didn't draw me in, nothing was ever going to.
And that's a great album.
It's fantastic.
The whole album. It's the only James Taylor vinyl album that I have.
You have it, but it's one like this one that you just put on and let it play the whole way through.
Yes.
So, Sherrie, you did so good. Will you come back and do it again? Who are you going to pick next? You're going to have to think about it.
I don't know.
Okay, well, give it some thought. You did your homework. You're great. You brightened up this room. Of course, we got to hear some Gil stories, which are always classic. He's out there pacing the hall. Good stuff. Good stuff. We have a Percy's pick.
We do. And I hope Sherrie doesn't get mad at me, but I think, my opinion, this cover is better.
Oh wow!
Than the original.
You're going there.
That JT did.
Well, it better be. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and I think you'll agree because you're a big R&B guy.
I am.
And the great Bobby Womack covered "Fire and Rain."
If you've never heard that, it will blow your mind.
And I'm just sorry, in my humble opinion, And I'm not saying that it's like worlds ahead better, but it's better than JT.
If you like R&B and you want to hear Fire and Rain, Bobby Womack. He's also the guy that did across 110th Street, some other stuff. He puts a little spin on. I mean, he keeps the beat the same, but he puts a soul vibe into it. It'll knock your socks off.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up.
Oh, you have to. It'll be on the playlist because we put Percy's pick.
Bobby recorded a bunch at Fame Studios here at our home state, Alabama.
Yeah. All right. Next week, of course, we've already let the cat out of the bag. We hope Percy makes it back to do the Dead and Company.
Friends have confidence in you.
Well, I mean,
You're gonna have so much fun that we won't see you.
So, like, if I was going,
you're nice about it. They're not.
Say if I was going to Amsterdam by myself, would you be worried?
Yes.
That I'd ever come home? Okay. Right. No, it's not that. Amsterdam. I'm gonna live there. Right, Sherrie.
Thanks. Star once said at a concert in Amsterdam, came a day early, find out what was it, legal and illegal.
It's all legal things. So I would do any of that stuff, but I hear the scenery is great, and whatever. Percy, have a good trip. Sherrie, we're gonna do this again. Wilkie, what you got?
Well, got a couple of deep cuts. I got my daddy, the truck driver. I got Brother Trucker.
Yep.
And Highway Song, and I got kind of a country version, but sort of. It's Hey Mister, that's me on the jukebox.
Right.
That's a good song.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on the.
Good song.
We'll put all that on the playlist.
Hey Mister, that's me. I can't believe that nobody went with Copper Line.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, on there.
Yeah, I did too. So, but there it is. It's on that album.
I mean, it's already on the playlist, but the whole album.
The whole album's going with this whole album thing. So, Gil, Sherrie, great. Love you guys. Let's do it again soon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When you pick your next one, let me know. As long as we haven't done it, we'll do it again. And if we have, just try again. We'll find something. We'll have you back. Love to everybody. Great show.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. And I always enjoy coming back to Albertville.
We know you do. And you brighten up the whole town every time you show up. And thanks again, everybody. All I got to say is